Alright, so I had a poem someone wanted me to read. I'm just gonna fill in right now. I think you should. It's not too bad. It's called the Ballad of Eskimo Nell. Let's see here. Gather round, all you hoary. Gather round and hear my story. Don't look at me that way, stranger, 'cause my pants ain't full of shit. It's just this goddamn syphilis that's eating me bit by bit. When a man grows old and his balls grow cold and the tip of his prick turns blue, when it bends in the middle like a one-string fiddle, he can tell you a tale or two. When men grow old and their balls grow cold and the end of their tool turns blue, far from the halls of Yukon strife, they'll tell a tale that's true. So pull up a chair and stand me a drink, and a tale to you I will tell about Dead-Eyed Dick and Mexican Pete and a harlot named Eskimo Nell. When Dead-Eyed Dick and Mexican Pete go forth in search of fun, it's Dead-Eyed Dick that swings the prick and Mexican Pete the gun. When Dead-Eyed Dick and Mexican Pete are sore depressed and sad, it's always a cunt that bears the brunt, but the shooting's not so bad. Now, Dead-Eyed Dick and Mexican Pete lived down by Dead Man's Creek, and such was their luck that they'd have no fuck for a nigh on a half a week. Oh, a moose or two and a caribou and a bison cow or so, but for Dead-Eyed Dick with his kingly prick, this fucking was mighty slow. Dick pounded on his cock with a huge piece of rock, and he said, "I want to play." It's been almost a week at his fucking creek, with no cunt coming my way. So do or dare this horny pair set off for the Rio Grande. Dead-Eyed Dick with his kingly prick and Pete with his gun in his hand. Hot with lust and a month's trail dust, they set off for a drinking hole. Oh, two shady pricks from the fork of the creek with a 3-week load in their poles. This is absolutely amazing. Then as they blazed their noisy trail, no man their path withstood. Many a bride, her husband's pride, a pregnant widow stood. Whoa. They blazed away on their horny way, no man their fire withstood, and many a bride who was hubby's pride knew pregnant widowhood. They reached the strand of the Rio Grande at the height of a blazing noon to slake their thirst and do their worst. They sought Black Mike's saloon. A bunch of cowhands were whooping it up in this redneck hole in the wall, and a comedy maid standing at the bar was hefting Mike's left ball. The swinging doors they pushed back wide, both prick and gun flashed free. According to sex, you bleeding wrecks, you'll drink or you'll fuck with me. Came crashing in with the doors a swing, both prick and gun flashed free. According to sex, you poxy wrecks, you drinks or fucks with me. Down on the floor, on top of a whore, lay the horny Klondike Mick, giving her one with the force of a gun, when in walked Dead-Eyed Dick. Now Dick would screw with a caribou if he couldn't find a cunt, and if he got stuck with no horse to fuck, some poor queen bore the brunt. Oh shit. Dick made a pass at Klondike's ass and missed it just by a hair. Klondike scowled and Dead-Eye growled in a voice like a grizzly bear. Mick's trousers split, they were chock full of shit as he plopped his ass on a keg, and his balls hung low and they swung to and fro with every move of his leg. Dick's face was red as blood ran to his head, for wildest passion within him burned, and then He pulled out his cock to display to the flock, and everyone's asshole squirmed. Now they knew of the fame of our hero's name, from the Horn to Panama, and with nothing worse than a muttered curse, those cowhands sought the bar. For when Dick walked into a house of sin, the whores all cursed their luck, so not even a tart dared let out a fart when he said, "I want to fuck." Oh shit. All right. Yes, it keeps going, I guess. I'm not even halfway through. Yes, they heard of the prick of Dead-Eye Dick from the Yukon to Panama, so with scarcely worse than a muttered curse, the fellows all sought the bar. The girls they knew of his playful ways down on the Rio Grande, and 40 whores pulled down their drawers at Dead-Eye Dick's command. Oh, shit. For they saw the finger of Mexican Pete move on the trigger grip. That should be group. That sounds better. So they didn't wait at a fearful rate. Those whores began to strip. Yes, they saw the fingers of Mexican Pete touching his pistol grip. No time to didn't waste. In frantic haste, those whores began to strip. That was weird. Now Dead-Eye Dick was breathing quick with lecherous snorts and grunts, so 40 butts were bared to view, and likewise 40 cunts. When Dick held sway, none would gainsay, so bared stood 40 doxies, 40 bared rumps and 40 cunts, and twice that many poxes. Now 40 butts and 40 cunts, if you can use your wits, and if you're slick at arithmetic, makes exactly 80 tits. Sure, 80 tits are a gladsome sight for a man with a raging stand. It may be rare in Berkeley Square, but not on the Rio Grande. Now Dead-Eye Dick had fucked a few on a spree that preceding night. This he had done in the spirit of fun and to whet his appetite. Yes, to test his wind he'd had a grind the previous Saturday night, and this he'd done to show his fun and whet his appetite. Dick backed to the door, and the number 1 whore he could see in the chandelier's prism, as he sprung through the air, his bollocks all bare, and sprayed her with his jism. His phallic limb was in fucking trim, as he backed and took a run, and made a dart at the nearest tart. He scored a hole-in-one. The lady he bore to the dusty floor, and then he filled her fine. And though she grinned, it put the wind up the other 39. When Dead-Eye Dick let loose his prick, he has no time to spare, for speed and strength combined with length, he fairly singes hair. So Dead-Eye Dick, he fucked them quick, and flinging them first aside, he was making a gin at the second quim when the swing doors opened wide. Holy fuck. He made a dart at the next fair tart and went into that harlot's hell. Strode a gentle maid who was unafraid. Her name was Eskimo Nell. Then there entered into that hall of sin, yes, into that harlot's hell, a lusty maid who was unafraid, and her name was Eskimo Nell. By this time Dick had got his prick well into number 2, when Eskimo Nell let out a yell. She bawled to him, "Hey you!" Dick gave a flick of his muscular prick, and the girl flew over his head. He then wheeled about with an angry shout. His face and his balls were red. The hefty lout he turned about, both knob and face were red. With a dexterous flick of his muscular prick, the tart flew over his head. With a lustful leer he said, "Look here, just get into the queue. I've got to mate with 38 before I get to you." But Eskimo Nell, she stood it well and looked him in the eyes. With utter scorn she sneered at the horn that rose from his hairy thighs. Nell glanced our hero up and down, his looks she seemed to decry, as she stood there with her raven hair and her tits rode proud and high. She blew the smoke of her cigarette all over his steaming knob, so utterly beat was Mexican Pete that he failed to do his job. It was Eskimo Nell who broke the spell in accents clear and cool. "You cunt-struck shrimp of a Yankee pimp, you call that thing a tool?" "If this here town can't take that down," she sneered to those cowering whores, "there's another cunt that can do the stunt, but it's Eskimo Nell's, not yours." She dropped her garments one by one with an air of conscious pride, and as she stood in her womanhood, they saw the great divide. Then she stubbed out the butt of her cigarette on the end of his gleaming knob, and so utterly beat was Mexican Pete that he quite forgot his job. 'Tis fair to state 'twas not so great, though its strength lay well within, and a better word that's often heard would not be cunt but quim. No grizzly bear had so much pubic hair, or dripped with so much grease, or had the depth as well as breadth to take his tool with ease. Yes, it's fair to state it was not so great, but it had a solid rim. Viewed from without, it left no doubt of the tensile strength within. She seated herself on a tabletop where someone had left a glass. With a twitch of her tits, she crushed it to bits between the cheeks of her ass. She flexed her knees with a supple ease and spread her thighs apart with a friendly nod to the mangy sod. She gave him the cue to start. Not that Nick knew more than one trick, and he meant to take his time. For a woman like this was orgasmic bliss. So he played the pantomime. Mime. He flexed his asshole to and fro, and he made his balls inflate until they looked like the granite knobs on top of a palace gate. He blew his anus inside out. His balls increased in size. His mighty prick grew twice as thick and reached almost to his eyes. He polished it up with alcohol, and then to make it steaming hot and finish the job, he sprinkled the knob with a cayenne pepper pot. Then did he neither start to run, nor did he take a leap, nor did he stoop, but with a swoop began a steady forward creep. As a marksman might, he took a sight along his mighty tool, and his steady grin as he pushed it in showed a calculated cool. Have you ever seen the pistons on the mighty CPR? With a driving force of 1,000 horse, well, then you know what pistons are. Or think you do, but you've yet to see the ins and outs of the trick of the work that's done on a non-stop run by a fellow like Dead-Eye Dick. So if you think you do, if you've yet to view the power that drives that prick, or the work that's done on a non-stop run by a man like Dead-Eye Dick, none but a fool would challenge his tool, no thinking man would doubt, for his fame increased as the great high priest of the ceaseless in and out. But Eskimo Nell was no infidel, as good as a whole harem, with the strength of 10 in her abdomen and the rock of ages between. With a nary scream, she could take the stream like the flush of a water closet. Now she gripped his cock like a Chatwood lock on the National Safe Deposit. Wow. Amidships she could stand a rush like the flush of a water closet. And from all his years of fucking queers, he knew that now this was it. She could take the stream of a lover's cream like the flush of a water closet, and she gripped Dick's cock like a vice-like lock that could make a man lose his deposit. But Dead-Eye Dick would not come quick. He meant to conserve his powers, for if he'd a mind, he'd grind and grind for 16 solid hours. Nell lay a while with a subtle smile. Then the grip of her cunt grew keener, and as Oh, and a squeeze of her thigh then sucked him dry with the ease of a vacuum cleaner. Holy fuck. She performed this trick in a way so slick as to set in complete defiance the principal cause and basic laws that govern sexual science. She calmly rode through the phallic code, which for years had withstood the test and the ancient rules of the classic schools. In a moment or two went west. Right here, my friend, we come to the end of Copulation's classic. The effect on Dick was sudden and quick and akin to an anesthetic. So yes, my friend, we approach the end of this copulative epic. The effect on Dick was sudden and quick and akin to anesthetic. He fell to the floor and he knew no more, his passions extinct and dead, nor did he shout as his cock fell out, though 'twas stripped right down to a thread. Holy crap. This is intense. Then Mexican Pete did leap to his feet to avenge his pal's affront. With a jarring jolt of his blue-nosed colt, he rammed it up Nell's cunt. He rammed it hard to the trigger guard, then fired 2 times 3. But to his surprise, Nell closed her eyes and smiled in ecstasy. Said Eskimo Nell, you've rung my bell, I'm ready to explode. Oh, Pete, my sweet, can you repeat? Said he, I've shot my load. As she rose to her feet, she looked so sweet. Hooray, she cried, for you, though I might have guessed it's about the best that you poor sods could do. With a gleam in her eyes and a flex of her thighs and a twitch of her mighty hips, with barely a grunt, Nell's mighty cunt, like a gun, shot all bullets 6. She rose to her feet with a smile so sweet, then, bully, she said, for you, though I might have guessed that was the best that you 2 poor pimps could do. When next, my friend, that you intend to sally forth for fun, by Dead-Eye Dick a sugar stick, and yourself an elephant gun. Oh, I thought you jerks could give me the work, she said in accents cool, but I guess I must go to the land of snow to find a man with a tool. I'm going forth to the frozen north, where the peckers are hard and strong, back to the land of the frozen stand where the nights are 6 months long. Yes, I'm going forth to the frozen north, where those pricks are hard and strong, that is the land of the all-night stand, and the nights are 6 months long. It's hard as tin when they put it in the land where spunk is spunk. Not a trickling stream of lukewarm cream, but a solid frozen chunk. Yes, I'm going forth to the frozen north, where a whore can do no wrong, where the Arctic blizzard sticks deep in your gizzard, like 14 inches of dong. Back to the land where they understand what it means to fornicate, where even the dead sleep 2 in a bed, and the babies masturbate. Oh, fuck. Oh, back to the land of the grinding gland, where the walrus plays with his prong, where the polar bear wanks off in his lair. That's where they'll sing the song. They'll tell this tale on the Arctic trail, where the nights are 60 below, where it's so damn cold the Johnnies are sold, wrapped up in a ball of snow. In the valley of death with bated breath, that's where they'll sing it too, where skeletons rattle in sexual battle and the rotting corpses screw. Back to the land where men are men, I'll say Terra Bellicum, and there I'll spend my worthy end, for the north is calling, come. Back once more to the sins of men, to the land of midnight sun. Yes, I go to spend a worthy end, for the north is calling, come. Then Dead-Eye Dick and Mexican Pete slunk away from the Rio Grande. Dead-Eye Dick with his useless prick, and Pete with no gun in his hand. When a man grows old and his balls grow cold, and the tip of his prick turns blue, and the hole in the middle refuses to piddle, I'd say he was fucked, wouldn't you? Wow. Holy shit. It says a moose favorite. I've wanted to post the legendary Ballad of Eskimo Nell for some time. Sci-fi fans are generally aware that the ballad exists, however, it can be quite elusive to track down. Warning, contains crude and sexually explicit language and humor. And the name is William.